Everyone has a story. It might or it might not be a love story. It could be a story of dreams, friendship, failure, hope, survival, or happiness. And every story is worth telling. But more than that, it's worth living. My name is Lenny, and this is my story. I grew up in Cameroon with my mom and dad, but they divorced. So they had to see who had to take care of me. So I ended up with my mom. Then later she had to travel for school opportunity in Italy. So later on I stayed with my dad, who was not really that much there for me. So I had to live with my dad for, let's say, 2 years before I went to boarding school. I went to the dormitory, I knew nobody. I was living in the dormitory right far from my hometown. It was like 2 or 3 hours away from my hometown. In Bamenda, I did not have all the attention of my parents because I remember children had a day when they had to visit them. And my family was not there for me to come and visit. So I was always that type of, I was always sad. I was always the type of child who had no parent who came to visit him because my mom was not more in Cameroon and my dad was always working and his wife was working as well. But it was not that bad because it was actually good in Bali because I became famous. I was the greatest dancer that Bali ever known. I was dancing, I became a celebrity in my school. I made some money, I made some connections, some good connections. You know, when you're famous in a school, people always like to spend time with you. So apart from that, I remember I got so depressed in boarding school that I did a lot of crazy things. I remember my dad, I did 6 years in boarding school and my dad didn't visit me, let's say 3 times in those 6 years. In boarding school, 1 time a year you can visit a child at least 3 times. But they didn't visit me, so I had to do a lot of things to earn money or to earn what to eat in boarding school. It's not like they were not cooking there. It's not like they were not giving us food. They were giving us food, but the food in boarding school, you know, is not that good. So you always have to go and buy some stuff to eat and stuff like that. So I became a dealer. I was selling drugs. I was smoking. I just spoiled my life in boarding school. I became very rough. That's the part of my life that is very hard for me to tell people because I always feel sad about it. I am not happy that I became a dealer. I am not happy that I was smoking weed. But I remember I had a problem with the weed situation. They were driving students out of school, and since I always liked to be free, I left the school. I went to another school to meet a friend. In that school, he was also smoking weed. We're smoking, we're dancing, we're talking to girls and stuff like that. And they caught me in that school. So when they caught me, they called the principal of the school. They dismissed me. So I had to go back to my hometown and tell my dad they dismissed me, they removed me out of school. I didn't know how to tell my dad they drove me out of school because of weed. It was very hard, it was very hard. So I left out of school. I had to restart everything. I didn't pass my advanced level. Advanced level in Africa is like the certificates that give you the credit to go to university. My dad he had a job opportunity in Douala, so we moved to Douala. When we moved to Douala, I didn't have my advanced level. So I went to Douala, I became the good student because I didn't want to be that kid, the firstborn with junior ones who will become a rascal, who will miss to live his life, who will miss opportunities in life. I always loved singing, but I didn't want to stop school because of singing. So I had to pass my advanced level. But my dad never knew that I knew how to sing. My mom never knew. Nobody knew I knew how to sing. So I remember my dad is a businessman. He has a lot of small companies. That time he had some clubs in the West region. I remember going to one of his clubs, and the main artist he invited to come sing there was not there. He didn't come. So my dad was frustrated. He didn't know what to do. He was confused. He said, okay, who will replace the artist? Who will sing for the night? Who will do the show? So I remember I told my dad, Dad, I want to do the show. He was like, you want to drive away my customers? I was like, no, I want to sing. Since he's my dad, he just gave me the opportunity. So I took the mic. I sang a French song that day. So I did the song and people loved it. That night was one of the happiest days of my life because I went in front of the public for the first time. It was great. I loved every part of that night. Do you know how you feel when a lot of people watch you, they see you and they cheer you up, they like what you do? I felt like I was in my element. But my family did not always like that I should concentrate in music that much. They always wanted me to concentrate in studies first. So I had to finish school. That's when I tried everything and I had my advanced level in Douala. My mom finally made it possible for me to travel to continue my studies out of the country. That's why I moved to Germany. I could move there, I continued studies there. Then I wanted to be independent. I didn't want to stay close to my parents. I didn't want to be that type of kid who will only be dependent from my parents. Because right from childhood, I was not used to getting things from my parents. I grew up with those principles. I didn't want to stay in my mom's house and just eat food every day, do the same thing. I don't have any responsibilities. So I moved to Riga. Riga is an amazing place. I don't know how I really choose to come to Riga because a lot of people, to be honest, a lot of people in other countries, when I go, they don't know Riga. But if they came here once in a while, they will know how wonderful this place is. The place opened me a lot of doors. I came to Riga, I remember I had only 250 euros in my pocket. I didn't know how I would survive. So I remember taking a flat with a friend of mine. I took a flat with him and we're living there for a while. I remember I had no job. I didn't know how to pay the rent. I didn't know how to pay everything. Yeah, it's true my family have the money that they can pay everything for me, they can do everything. But as I told you before, my dad is that type of person who doesn't like when you're a man, he pay things for you. So the first job I got was from McDonald's. I remember when that was, I wouldn't say for me, it was one of my, in fact, the worst jobs I had. Because I was not used to working in a kitchen. It's hot inside the kitchen. You have to cook, you are sweating and everything. Oh my God, it was so bad. But I had to do it because I needed to pay my bills. If you don't pay your bills, nobody will do it for you. So I worked, even though the salary was not that good. But I was working every day. School work, it was not easy. So I started thinking, what can I do? What can I do so that I will not have to work that much? Some people, I think a lot of people want to have their own business. So I started thinking, what can I do to survive in Riga? And the good thing about Riga was that it's not an expensive place to live. So I could really, with some little money, I could really eat for a good number of time. So I had some friends told me about XFactor.
Lucky, are you ready?
Yeah, we are ready.
We are ready, and you?
I'm very ready.
Tell us about what song have you chosen to sing for us?
We have the same blood and we have like the same spirit, the same soul. So I'm just here to express my music with Bob Marley Redemption song. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin, for such a great words. Stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Songs of freedom. Yeah. Whoa. Redemption song. Thank you.
Can you imagine, can you have that feeling when you are in a different country and you are competing with people who are from that country? Like for the elimination, there are 3 of them and you are the 4th one. I was like, they won't choose me, I won't win them because I am not in my country. And when they called my name on that show, like I was the one staying to go for the finals, I was shocked. I remember, I was like, how manage? How? I had almost 20,000 of votes. The opportunity that this country gave to me. And that night I had to sing. I did Bruno Mars, When I Was Your Man. I was here, that song brought me to this level. But sadly, in the finals, I fell sick. My voice was all broken. I had cold, so my voice was not going out. I didn't even want to sing anymore. But the woman who was teaching us like vocals and stuff like that, she told me, Kevin, it's not good when you just surrender like that. At least, even if it's not good, just go there. Show the people you are here to win. And even if you don't win, that even if your voice is bad or affected, you are still trying your best because you love singing. But I don't regret it. I don't regret not winning the show because that was the happiest moment in my life. I didn't feel that safe or more alive before. Especially when people were writing my names on the card and they were showing like Kevin, and they were voting and they were like, it was incredible. I didn't win XFactor, but that will never stop me from achieving my goals. After XFactor, actually I didn't have this idea after XFactor. I had it already a long time ago when my parents were hitting my head every time like, Kevin, no, you don't have to stop school for music and stuff like that. So now I had an idea to put music and the school part of what I'm doing in school, like business and management, together. I combined them all together. So I thought of a company, I named it Wonder Entertainment, that will do with production, communication, events, and management. And you know, this production, communication, events, management work with school, what I studied in school. And now producing artists or producing myself or managing and all that stuff is what I like doing. I like singing, I like acting. I already created a small company in Latvia where I have 2 partners. And they are both students like me from the university, which is Riga Technical University. So we are both working on this event company. We create events in club and we promote them and we make people to enjoy life. An important lesson that I learned in the past is to never give up. Always keep going forward. If you fall down, then get back up and try again. It doesn't matter if it is the first time or the millionth time, you must always get back up again. Regardless of what challenges you are facing, you have to keep pushing forward. Life isn't going to slow down for you, so you have to work to keep up. Each time you get up, that is more character, more strength you have developed. Never stop to reach out for the stars. This was Kevin Lenny, and this was my story.